Section 13, question 1. Two functions are given below. F of x equals x squared minus 4x. G of x equals 2x plus 7. Part A says, if f of x equals g of x, show that x squared minus 6x minus 7 is equal to 0. This question is kind of telling us what to do here, pretty simply. It's saying make f of x, x squared minus 4x, equal to g of x, 2x plus 7. It's pretty straightforward from there. Just move everything across to the left hand side, change sign, and 2x comes across, becomes minus 2x, so minus 4x minus 2x is minus 6x. Bring the plus 7 across, becomes minus 7, and that's equal to 0, and that's part A. Part B says, hence find algebraically the values of x for which f of x equals g of x. Right, so the question's just telling us now to factorise and solve this quadratic equation. So I'm looking for two numbers that multiply together to give minus 7 and add together to give minus 6. So just be careful with your signs, but those two numbers then are minus 7 and 1. Minus 7 times 1 is minus 7, and minus 7 plus 1 is minus 6. And that's equal to 0. That gives us x minus 7 is equal to 0, and x plus 1 is equal to 0. Bring that across, x equals 7, and my second solution is x equals minus 1, and that's the end of the question. Section 13, example 2. Two triangles have dimensions as shown. The triangles are equal in area. Calculate the value of x. We'll know that the area of a triangle is a half AB sine C, but we don't have the information for that, so we'll use our alternative formula for area of a triangle, which is half times base times height. Now, we can see that the base of this triangle is x over 2 and its height is 1. So area of a triangle, half times base times height. Again, the base is x over 2, so that's a half of x over 2 multiplied by the height, which is 1. 1 times x is x, 2 over 2 is 4, so we've got x over 4 times 1, and that's just x over 4. This triangle here, the base is x minus 1, and the height is 3. So again, half times base times height. Half times minus 1 times the height, which is 3. So a half times 3, that's 3 halves, so that's 3 over 2 bracket x minus 1. Now, the important part of the question is this. The triangles are equal in area, which means this is equal to this. We're looking to calculate the value of x. So the question is telling us to go ahead and make these things equal, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go across here, and x over 4 equals 3 over 2 bracket x minus 1. To get rid of the fractions, I'm going to multiply through by 4, so that's going to be x. Now 3 over 2, if I multiply that by 4, I can think about that as multiplying it by 2 gets rid of that, and then multiplying by 2 again brings the 3 up to a 6, so that's 6 bracket x minus 1. Open that up, and that's x equals 6x minus 6. I'm going to bring the 6x across, make it minus 6x, so that will be minus 6x plus x is minus 5x is equal to minus 6. X is equal to minus 6 over minus 5, and two negatives cancel out. Final answer is x is equal to 6 over 5. That's the end of the question. Section 13, example 3. A right angled triangle has dimensions in centimetres as shown, x, x plus 7, and the hypotenuse is x plus 8. Calculate the value of x. Now, a big clue as to how to proceed with this question is the fact that it is a right angled triangle, and Pythagoras would be appropriate here. So the square of the hypotenuse, remember for Pythagoras, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square of the other two sides. So the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square of the other two sides. Just take your time as you're expanding this stuff out. So remember, it's a repetition of the bracket when it's a squared bracket, and here we've got x plus 8, so whether that's FOIL method or some other method to expand that out, but that would be x squared plus 16x plus 64 is equal to x squared plus 14x plus 49, and if you need to go to the side to expand that out and take your time, you should do that. Right, so I'm just going to collect together some like terms here. So x squared plus 16x plus 64 is equal to 2x squared plus 14x plus 49. Right, so a bit of change side, change sign. I'm going to bring everything across, make it equal to 0. So x squared, bring the 2x squared across and it will become minus 2x squared. So that will be minus x squared. So that's x squared minus 2x squared. 16x, bring 14x across and make it minus, so it will be 16x, take away 14x. That's 2x plus 2x. Bring 49 across, make it minus 49, 64, take away 49 is 15. And that's equal to 0. Now in terms of factorising this, I'm going to look to make it a positive x squared, so I'm going to multiply the full thing through by minus 1 to get rid of the negative x squared. And that has the effect of changing the sign of everything. So that'll be x squared minus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0. Two numbers that multiply together that give 15, add together give minus 2, just be careful with your signs. But that's x minus 5 bracket x plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, so x minus 5 is equal to 0, and x plus 3 is equal to 0, which means x is equal to 5, or x is equal to minus 3. Now, since one of the dimensions in the question is given by x, you can't have a negative dimension, therefore the answer must be x equals 5. So we're going to discard that result, and that's the end of the question.